Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DECA Dialogues. We're sitting down with members from all around as we share their unique journeys, from first competitions to future careers. Hear how DECA is building the leaders of tomorrow today. Get inspired, get connected. This is DECA Dialogues. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the new year. First episode of the new year, episode 15. 15. That is a great number. And what better way to share this brand new kickoff to the year than with the Louisiana State University president, Isabella Enamorado Patout. Isabella, how you doing? LSU chapter founder and president. Super exciting. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, hi guys. My name is Isabella Enamorado Patout, and I'm the founder and president of Louisiana State University's chapter. I started this past year. It took a little while to get up and running, but I'm very happy and
Hmm.
proud of the progress and just the impact that we've really made on the community.
Hmm.
And it's been a pleasure. Thanks
That's
be to
awesome.
God. That's all I
That's
can say.
awesome. I love that. I love that. Well, Isabella, you and I were talking on the phone a little bit earlier, and you'd mentioned you've been in DECA for 7 years. That's awesome. 7 years. Now,
Yes.
I'd love to really take a moment just to take a trip down memory lane, if you will, and go back to what that first year looked like. How did you get into DECA? Kind of what got you into it? What did that experience look like going into it first time?
So I joined around my freshman to sophomore year. I It was kind of COVID year, so we weren't really doing anything that
Mm-hmm.
was, big, not a lot of competitions or
Hmm.
anything, and I didn't really know what it was about. But I was a part of band. I was a part of band,
Oh, awesome.
and so we had a lot of leadership positions in
Yeah.
band, but one of them was our drum major. Our
Okay.
drum major, Lauren Shavers. Not only was she a woman, but she was very involved on our campus at
Hmm.
Denham Springs High School. Shout
Hmm.
out, go Jackets. But and I just saw the position that she held and how powerful she was.
Hmm.
And so I also knew that she was a part of DECA. And so when I got a little closer with her, I was like, wow, I really want to see what this DECA is all about. I really
Hmm.
want to get involved on campus. And so I went to a meeting, and then I ended up going to something that we do every year, which was a fall leadership conference.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was about 2 hours away from my hometown, Baton Rouge. So it was just in Alexandria, Louisiana, so the heart of Louisiana. And we just we did mock competitions. I got to network with a whole bunch of other students that were just like me. And then that was when I was offered my first ever leadership position was in high school.
That's
And I
awesome.
was like the vice president of like recruitment or something.
Hmm.
And that's what I did. I recruited. And so I got our membership up by, I want to say 32% within my
Okay.
first year.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, this is great. And not only did I recruit, but I also retained. And it was
Hmm.
because people saw the impact in the leadership that I held and my passion for DECA.
Hmm.
And so I went to fall leadership conference, and then I ended up going to our state conference, and I ended up winning first place in our business law and ethics team decision
Okay.
making.
Okay.
And so after that, everybody was like, wow, she's not only a leader, she's not only involved, but now she's winning stuff. And so they were like, wow, like let's get more involved. And with that being said, I ended up going through an interview and applying to be our vice president of marketing communications for Louisiana
Hmm.
High School DECA.
Yeah.
And so, it was just amazing. There was travel involved, there were friends, there were competitions, and there was just personal branding involved that kind of
Hmm.
set a foundation for when I got into college. And it really showed me just how to hold yourself, and the speaking and the
Hmm.
networking and the collaboration was something that a high schooler,
Hmm.
you know, was
Yeah.
doing, a college student got to do now. So it just built a very solid foundation for for whatever I wanted to do when I
Hmm.
got into college. So
Hmm.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's really inspiring stuff that you said. So it sounds like
Mhm.
you dove head into it. Like
Oh
you really
yeah.
were like, what can I do and what's the length? What's the length? Like what's the
Hmm.
most? And I really love that. I think
Yeah.
that's absolutely amazing, especially at a high
I,
school sense too.
Yeah, in a high school sense too. I've always been that person to you give me an inch and I'm gonna take a mile.
I love it.
So yeah.
No, that is awesome. Well, I'd really love to ask the
Mhm.
question. So you're kind of like you're all in on it, right? And then
Mhm.
you get done with high school, and from what I understand, you wanted to go to LSU ever since you were young, right? What was kind
Yeah.
of that idea of like you're kind of the dream college, right? But now all of a sudden DECA isn't there. What was like what were the
Mhm.
steps that you took to be like, okay, this is something that has to get in here, and we have to have it at a collegiate level.
So I got into college and my first year was rough. It was terrible. I mean, I'm a first gen college student, and with that, I'm a first gen American student. And so there wasn't really a place that I felt I could fit in.
Mhm.
And I was like, ah man, DECA's not here anymore. And so my first year was really rough. But I ended up joining a business fraternity. So I ended up
Mhm.
joining Pi Sigma Epsilon Beta Xi,
Yeah.
and there it was sales, it was marketing, it was everything, but it wasn't DECA. I
Hmm.
loved it, but it
Hmm.
wasn't DECA. But through Pi Sigma Epsilon, I was able to make a lot of network connections on my campus. So even though there isn't a DECA, there's so many different organizations out there that can give you something
Hmm.
that you need.
Yeah.
And so I just so the thing about Louisiana is that we have this program called TOPS. So it allows students that if you were in high school and you made a certain grade and had a certain credits, you can go to college with your tuition paid for. So a lot of students took on that program, and so a lot of people that were in high school DECA ended up going to a Louisiana college. And
Mm-hmm.
so we had a Tulane and Xavier chapter, but we didn't have a Louisiana State University chapter.
Hmm.
And so, since I was on there and people knew me from being, a vice president in high school, I took that advantage to kind of use that branding of, hey, I was really big in high school DECA and everybody really knew me. Let me start something, at LSU and
Yeah.
see, how that gains
Hmm.
traction. And so, my first year was really just networking, collaborating with other organizations on my campus. And so, through that, how it happened actually was I was at a classroom talk, and I was actually kind of advertising Pi Sigma Epsilon to this group of, freshman business students.
Hmm.
And I ended up meeting this woman named Angela Guidry, and she organizes all of our RSOs, or so our registered student organizations
Hmm.
on campus, and especially the ones that are through the College of Business. And so we don't call them business organizations, we call them professional development
Mm.
organizations.
Okay.
And so she introduced herself, and I'm like, like the little sophomore in the corner. I'm like, oh, I have to speak to her about DECA. Like, I have to. And so I took my chance to just put myself out there.
Hmm.
And I just said, hey, Miss Angela, Miss Guidry, I know you don't know me, but I'm the vice president of finance I don't know who put me in a finance position, but I'm the vice president of finance for Pi Sigma Epsilon. And blah, 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 Pi Sigma Epsilon. But I was also the vice president previously for DECA, for Louisiana DECA. And I think that our school would benefit from having a DECA program. And
Hmm.
she goes, DECA, I know what DECA is. And she was like, you want to start a collegiate chapter here? And I was like, yes, yes, ma'am. I think our
Yeah.
school would, just thrive with it. And she
Hmm.
goes, here's my contact information. I want to help you start this.
All
So she
right.
ended up being our advisor. She ended up pushing us on all these different types of recruitment events. And that's something I will say. If your school has, events and recruitment opportunities, take advantage of that.
Hmm.
Collaborate with your college and collaborate with other organizations. And honestly, some of that stress of, event organization and all of that gets taken off your hands because,
Yeah.
somebody else is doing it. I mean, you do have to give back a little bit, but
Absolutely.
definitely take advantage of the areas in the events where a whole lot of students are going to go
Mhm.
to, so that you can do all that recruitment. And so I just tackled on that. And then I ended up building my team, which was built with a lot of people that I knew that I could collaborate with. And I knew that they had held or knew or had been involved in DECA
Hmm.
previously. And
Hmm.
then with their knowledge of DECA, our exec team, and then just people that were backing up this program, that's kind of how we started LSU DECA. And it's took off. I mean, we're known for throwing some of the biggest out of business mixers, as we like to call them. And so and we just host these events that have students collaborating and networking because we're not just open to business, we are
Mhm.
open to all majors. And
Mhm.
so they're able to kind of cross paths with people that they
Yeah.
might end up networking and knowing in the future. Or, hey, you were in
Mhm.
my such and such accounting class, or you were in my such and such economics class.
Mhm.
And now we have a place where we can all mingle, network, and develop ourselves. And so that's kind of what I wanted LSU DECA to be, and that's what it's become. And I've gained so many different opportunities through that, and I love it. I love it. It's
That's
amazing.
awesome. That's absolutely amazing. Oh, I love that. And that's really inspiring too. And you just,
Hmm.
gosh, it's like a blazing passion that shines so brightly, and it's really really cool to see.
Yeah,
Now, I'd
it
love to
is.
kind of we talked a little bit about it with the events and whatnot, but I love to really
Hmm.
hear a little more in depth about the current year. You know how
Hmm.
fast forward, right? Start of the 2025 going into 2026. What have been some highlights of this year? What have been some things that are like, oh wow, this is really cool. I just got to share it.
I mean, so I think some of our biggest highlights will have to be our networking events.
Mm-hmm.
So we've collaborated a lot with other schools, so like Southeastern, um, and just other organizations, so that we can build this big networking environment, because you never know who you might meet out in the business world, and you never
Mm-hmm.
know what skills you might need to have. And I'll be honest, especially like the way that you just hold yourself and you speak to people is one of the biggest skills that you can have. The way that you showcase yourself is just, when you're well spoken and you can really captivate a room, it really takes you far.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that we're really doing this year is really pushing our students to compete. So we're taking advantage of going to Indianapolis, and I'm really
Yeah.
trying to fundraise this year so that we can get our students to ICDC in
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
and showing that, okay, we do a lot on campus, but look at the bigger picture. I mean, this is an international organization. There are so many people, so many outlets that you can get involved in. And and through that, we're using Epic Hire to kind of collaborate with not only our school, but also these different companies that are looking for students that are involved in DECA and have the
Mm-hmm.
skills that they've gained from, practicing for their competitions or practicing for public speaking, or, and just wanting to gain traction and wanting to get involved. These companies are wanting to, get involved with not only LSU, but especially
Yeah.
DECA students,
Yeah.
because they know the skills that they have and they know
Mm-hmm.
the way that they are. And so why not take advantage of that opportunity and get involved with an organization? So my major is leadership development, human resources, and I have a minor in business and communications and a concentration in digital marketing. And
That's
so
awesome.
branding,
Oh.
communications, business, that's all my thing. And so as I'm talking to a lot of these companies over the phone and, hearing, oh, what they want to do at LSU and the events that they want to plan with us, they're like, wow, like the way that you speak, the way that you talk about DECA, the way that you talk about your team. I mean, we want to be there. Like these companies want LSU.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be on our campus. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just because of the way that we showcase DECA. It's because of the way that I showcase our team and myself. And a lot of people don't get that personal branding, and the way that you brand your organization is one of the best recruitment tools ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you see the events that we're doing, you see the competitions we're attending, you see the companies that we're partnered with, you want that for your own organization, you want that for your own team. So take advantage of all those outlets and all this communication. I mean, you have Instagram, TikTok, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of these outlets so that you can showcase, truly and honestly showcase what your organization can do.
Absolutely.
Because once you start doing that, I mean, it starts flowing in. It starts
Mm-hmm.
flowing in. And I'm really taking advantage of that, of just putting on these events where we can have some sales competitions at LSU. We can have, some coffee and study days, and create a community
Mm-hmm.
where people feel represented, and just a big thing that I always like to say is get involved and get
Mm-hmm.
involved, because
Yes.
leadership and all of that, like I said, going back to human resources, if I'm hiring you in the future and I see that you had a 4.0 and you did school, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. But
Yeah.
but
Like that's
where
good.
I would that's awesome, but
Yeah.
I would take somebody that has a, a 3.0 or a 3.5 any day,
Yes.
but they were involved in DECA or Greek life or did community service or, and
Hmm.
put their time and energy in more and
Hmm.
more. And they saw that there was more to take
Hmm.
on because it's great that you go to school. 50% of your degree is going to school. The
Hmm.
other 50% is your involvement.
Hmm.
It's the leadership opportunities that you took when you know that
Hmm.
you were stressed out. It's the community service events that you went to, even though you had a paper due the next day.
Hmm.
And it's the things, and honestly, it's the impact that you have on your campus and your community. I would take that any day,
Hmm.
any day. And that's what we really want our students to do is get involved.
I love that. Isabel, that is a very great note to have there. And I
Yes.
truly agree with you. I mean, get involved. It's so fun to get involved too.
Yes.
Like it's like you got,
Yes.
I mean, what do you have to lose? Just
I know.
take that step, take that leap, and it's so freeing and so rewarding as well.
It
So
is.
I love that. No, you made some really great points there, and it's really great to hear about it. Congratulations to everything that's
Thank you.
going
Thank
well
you.
with the year and whatnot. And now I'd really like to, we could learn a little bit more about the past, took a trip down memory lane, talked a little bit about this year and whatnot. Now I'd love to hear a little bit about, what's the plan for the future, right? What's the plan for after LSU, and in any way, how has DECA helped you get to that path?
Well, after LSU, we're probably going to go back to LSU to get our master's and maybe a PhD. We'll see down the line.
Oh.
But right now, I work in the sports field. So I
Hmm.
manage a country club here in Louisiana. And because I manage a country club, I obviously have to play golf. And that's another thing, y'all. Play golf. It is a great networking tool. I
It
mean,
really is.
you'll get stuck in some scramble with, I play for LSU Golf Club,
Hmm.
and so you get stuck with the head golfer at LSU, and you have to play a scramble with him, and you realize how bad you are, but it's okay. But I work in the sports field, so with my job, I handle a lot of marketing and
Hmm.
administration and accounting, and they're growing right now, so they might become a franchise in the future. So I'm hoping, praying that maybe there is a position for me.
Hmm.
And if not, hopefully a different kind of route within sports and especially golf, because there's not a lot of women in that field. And so I feel like I could really take advantage of that being a
Hmm.
woman and golfing. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I actually collaborate with Ladies on the Green, which is a golf club here in Baton Rouge.
That's
So
awesome.
I handle their events, their socials,
Yeah.
and just a whole bunch of different companies I can get involved in because
Hmm.
they know Bella from the country club. So, but just hoping to really take on that route. I love entertainment and event planning. And honestly, when your job is a passion of yours, it doesn't even feel like a job. I mean, I go to work
Hmm.
and I play golf and I feel like I didn't even work. I'll be honest. And
Hmm.
so I'm really
Hmm.
hoping to take advantage of that, of just mixing business and a sport slash hobby into kind of a career path. And then on the side, I do have my SEO and analytics certificates. So on the side, I do some website building and
Awesome.
some marketing for
Yeah.
a couple other companies, including mine. So I'm hoping to kind of take advantage of that and having another route and maybe some business consulting.
Yeah.
And then after all of that is done, and I have hopefully a well-rounded portfolio, I actually do want to go back and teach. I do want to go back and teach at college level,
That's
because
awesome.
college is the development part of your life, and a lot of people don't take that opportunity for it to be that development part of their life.
Hmm.
They really take advantage of that. Coming from somebody who's a first gen American, I didn't have that privilege of seeing, people go to college and people, expand their horizons. And so I really want to take advantage of that and show other students and showcase that, hey, you might have had a hard background, a really difficult way of getting here, but take advantage of the opportunities that you have on your campus and build your portfolio,
Hmm.
build your resume, because I'm sorry, it's getting tough out there in
It is.
that job world. So, you got to take on the opportunities that you can to kind of showcase
Absolutely.
your abilities.
Hmm.
And so after that's all done, I hope I can go back and teach and maybe even be a part of a DECA program on a
Yeah.
college campus and help students build their professional profiles and their
Yeah.
professional development, and just help students the way that I wasn't really helped, and give them a place and be that mentor, be that mentor for
Mhm.
some of our college students, because college has been the best time of my life. It
Mhm.
really has. And I know I know it sounds funny, but I would love to go
I
back and
I
teach.
completely agree. College has been one of the best times of my life too, and I just
Yes.
love to say on record that you would make an excellent teacher, and I truly mean that too. I
Thank
mean,
you. Thank
absolutely
you.
wonderful. If I had you as a
Professor.
teacher, a professor, I love it. I'd be coming to class like super excited and wouldn't be dragging my feet going to the door like, oh, I gotta go back to class, right? I'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, it's gonna be so awesome. No,
Yes.
I'm really happy for you. That sounds very, very exciting, and
Mhm.
that's going to be wonderful. I'm really, really happy for you there. Now,
Yes, thank you.
as we kind of run down toward the end of our time here, I really love to, with all my guests, I always love to just leave the floor open for a little something that they'd
Mhm.
like to say, whether that's a joke, a little piece of motivational advice, just kind of whatever. The floor is yours in this final little minute here.
What I have to say is confidence is something that you do fake until you make it. I will say that. Stay involved. Keep praying about it and have your intentions with him every single day. And don't be afraid to take risks,
Mhm,
because sometimes those risks become great opportunities.
mhm.
And just keep on going, keep on striving, be
Yep,
extra, because I
yep.
mean, hey, you can't have a leadership position or do anything with laziness.
Mhm,
Just keep
mhm.
pushing yourself. And even though it is hard and the burnout is real, it's amazing that you even got here, you know? And so don't take that opportunity for granted. And then finally, go Tigers.
I love it. I love it. That is amazing, and that is really great. That's a really great reminder too. And I even going to take that away a little bit too. Be extra. Just go extra. It's just,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Like you said, taking that leap, taking that opportunity, getting involved. That's really wonderful. And Isabel, I just want to
Yeah.
thank you again so much for coming on and speaking. It's been absolutely amazing. And before we head out, I gotta highlight. I mean, show them the jacket because that's just,
Oh my
oh my
gosh.
gosh, look at that. That's awesome, guys. Look at
Look at
that.
this.
Oh, that
Look
is
at
so
that.
amazing. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wait. It's so cool. So this is my LSD Letterman. It was custom made and it's bedazzled. Look at that.
That
Tiger.
that is so cool. That is so cool.
Yes.
I love that.
I had to wear it.
Yeah,
I had to wear it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Got to represent. Well,
Oh
oh no. Well, as we kind of wrapped up this episode, I just want to thank everybody for watching. And please leave a like, please leave a comment. I love to see them. And thank you so much, Isabella, for sharing
Thank
your
you.
story.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute joy and an absolute pleasure. So thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And from Isabella and I, have a great rest of your day.